Have you ever tried to speak up only to be hit with, just let it go? You're overreacting. It is what it is. Don't be so sensitive. And suddenly you're second guessing yourself, feeling confused or even ashamed. And you start wondering, am I blowing this out of proportion? Am I overreacting? If that's ever been you, you're not crazy, and you've likely been hit with something subtle but powerful, a thought-terminating cliche. Once you know what it is, you'll be able to spot them everywhere. Hi, I'm Callie Sorensen. I have a master's in the psychology of coercive control, and I help people recognize and break free from toxic dynamics, especially the ones that don't seem toxic at first. In this video, I'll show you what a thought-terminating cliche is, why it's so psychologically effective, how it disconnects you from your emotions, boundaries, and voice, and how to respond without spiraling or abandoning yourself. So what exactly are thought-terminating cliches? They're short, familiar phrases that stop your thinking in its tracks. They sound wise or logical, but underneath, they stop the conversation, dismiss your emotions, leave no room for questions, flatten the complex reality of life, and kill the dialogue before it even starts. Over time, they do something worse. They erode your connection to your own clarity and truth. Here are a few more examples of thought-terminating cliches. Don't overthink it. You're in your ego. Boys will be boys. Trust the process. Man up. Let's not dwell on the past. You're too emotional. Stop making a big deal out of nothing. It's always been done this way. You're being reactive. At first, they might seem harmless, but they shift the blame, making you the problem instead of looking at the harm. Let's break it down with a real life example. Let's say you say, "Hey, I felt hurt by the way that was handled." And they reply, "You're so sensitive." And suddenly your focus flips inward. Wait, am I being sensitive? Am I being dramatic? Is this my trauma? The conversation shifts from what happened to what's wrong with you for noticing. That's the trap. It shuts down dialogue and leaves you in self-doubt. Here's why these thought-terminating cliches are so effective. They reduce complex issues to black and white terms, rational versus emotional, healed versus triggered, stopping reflection and encouraging compliance. They offer quick relief instead of the truth, soothing discomfort without addressing the root. They exploit your need to belong, making you silence yourself to keep the peace and keep the connection. They pressure you to perform as the calm or the evolved one, even at the cost of your truth. They dodge internal conflict and cognitive dissonance. When you love someone but feel hurt by them, these cliches, like everything happens for a reason, offer a false sense of resolution. Now let's look at the comparison between healthy versus harmful communication. Imagine you say, "I felt hurt by how that was handled." A harmful response shuts you down. "Why are you so sensitive?" That dismisses your feelings, ends the conversation, and leaves you questioning yourself. A healthy response opens the door. "Wow, I didn't realize you felt that way. Can you share more?" See the difference? Harmful responses blame your emotions and shut down the conversation, while healthy ones show curiosity and care, inviting dialogue without judgment. So what are the hidden damages of thought-terminating cliches? When you hear these phrases repeatedly, you question your instincts and your intuition. You perform instead of relate. You lose trust in your inner compass. You silence yourself before others do. Eventually, you internalize these phrases, repeating them to yourself. You disconnect from your own truth. And this creates the ideal environment for manipulation, grooming, unhealthy dynamics, and ongoing self-abandonment. So how to recognize and respond to thought-terminating cliches? Combating thought-terminating cliches isn't about arguing harder or proving your point. It's about staying connected to yourself so you don't spiral or abandon your truth. Here's how you can do that step by step. Step 1, feel for the shutdown sensation. These cliches hit your body and your nervous system. You might feel a tightness in your chest or your gut, an urge to go quiet, over-explain, or apologize. A wave of shame, confusion, or second guessing. Pressure to be the bigger person. These aren't overreactions, they are signals. Your body is saying something important just got dismissed. And make sure you honor that and are aware when that happens. Step 2, run the expansion check. Ask, did this phrase open connection or did it shut it down? If it silenced your thoughts, emotions, questions, or concerns, it's likely a thought-terminating cliche. This awareness lets you pause, recenter, and choose your response. Step 3, turn inward with curiosity. Instead of collapsing into self-blame, ask, what is this phrase trying to silence in me? What question do I still want to ask? Whose comfort is being prioritized here? What part of me am I suppressing to seem nice or evolved? These questions reclaim your authority. And step 4, respond with curiosity, not combat. You don't need to defend or fight, just bring the conversation back to integrity. For example, you could try, I hear that, but I'd like to dig deeper. That might be true, but something still feels off. Can we stay with this for a minute? It feels really important. I need more clarity before moving on. These are not attacks, they're anchors. You're protecting your sovereignty and not picking a fight. So remember, this is not about winning or being right. It's about staying connected to what feels real and true for you. The more you spot these cliches, the less power they'll have. And this is how you become ungroomable, not by cutting people off or staying silent, but by staying so clear and self-connected that no one can manipulate you into abandoning yourself. If you want to go deeper, make sure you check out my course, Become Ungroomable, to reclaim your voice and power. And make sure you don't miss out on part 2 that dives into the 6 categories of thought-terminating cliches to watch out for in everyday life and why people use them. Like, subscribe, and share a thought-terminating cliche you've heard in the comments below. Thanks, and I'll see you in the next video.